So what's up? Another edition of the Smoke Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. So glad you could join us. My name is Sean Baligian. That guy who just got a piece of goodness is Mike Ivesil. No, we didn't plan to shave at the same time. It just kind of happened. And, of course, the star of the show, well, other than what you see in front of us, but the guy that makes it all happen, he's a chef. He's the owner of the butchery in Sylvan Lake on Orchard Lake Road. He's our pal, Dave Hubbard. How are you guys?
Good afternoon.
I'm doing good. Survived another long hockey tournament weekend, and I'm here. Clean shaven, too.
I know. I hate it.
You both look so much younger.
You really?
Yeah. Mike, I didn't recognize Mike when I walked in.
Everyone was looking at me like, why is this guy just walking
Who's
in
this
the
dude,
studio?
right?
Stick said, who's this 12-year-old? I said, I went from 60 to 12 with one swipe of a razor.
So, Dave, what are we doing this week? I love this idea because there's one thing that I don't think gets enough love is when you do the big pulled pork, when you do the big brisket. Did I mention bacon? But when you do those things, the leftovers can be a tremendous deal. And you can make some fantastic sandwiches. And one of the things that is happening over at the butchery is not only is he selling us the great meat, but you're also making some sandwiches as well. And that's going to be one of the topics of discussion today.
Yeah, so we've got, what do you do when you, like you said, make a big piece of pork butt, or you have a brisket that you might want to smoke the point and then do something with the flat, right? So I can take the flat and make some corned beef out of it, right? I can pickle it and brine it, make corned beef. I can take that out of the brine and then put it back in the smoker and make pastrami, your favorite, right? So I have an example of all those things. So I had a turkey breast in the freezer, so I pulled it out from Thanksgiving. I said, what am I going to do with it? I threw it in the Traeger and I smoked it, so we'll have some turkey. Reuben, I said, we had a brisket. I said, well, it's a smoke show. We're going to do sandwiches. We're going to do smoked, meat sandwiches. Yeah. So everything that we could do with a brisket, everything that we could do with a pork butt, I kind of broke it down a little bit. I even took some pork and some beef and made some meatballs and did a barbecue sauce special for these and made a meatball sub, just a barbecue version. We do it more of an Italian version, an ode to my mother at the store, but this one here I did more of a show one.
Wow.
And I'm telling you what, smoked meat is some of the best sandwiches you will ever have. It's funny, we have a special guest sitting in studio with us today. He's a member of what I refer to as the first family of hockey in the great state of Michigan. Perry Vellucci is here, and his brother Mike Vellucci, of course, coached the Whalers, worked for the Carolina Hurricanes. Now he's an assistant with Pittsburgh. But his first trip to Montreal when he was with Carolina, this is a true story, he said to me, what's the name of that place I got to go to get a smoked meat sandwich in Montreal? I told him, he texted me, he goes, that's the best damn sandwich I ever had. Yeah. So, I mean, really, it is. I mean, you get that good smoke on there, and it's
Montreal,
not. Yeah. It's not. Listen, it's not going to happen overnight. This is not an overnight thing. But one of the best sandwiches you'll eat.
So we kind of did the same thing. So we take a Wagyu, piece of Wagyu top, right? And then I throw that in the brine to make the corned beef pickling spice kind of thing. Yeah. And we let that go for 7+ days, 7 to 10 days. And so I pull it out of there. I damp it, take off that dampness and let it dry in the cooler overnight, 24 hours. And then we throw it in the smoker. But before we throw it in the smoker, we put that, that coriander and that black pepper, the spice combination to make it, that real strong, flavor that you have, that crust on there, that real awesomeness.
This is bringing back memories, Dave, of this summer when you said you were bringing the sandwich board back and we got to taste test it every time we went into the butchery. I'm getting the images of that. Starting to get a little
it's a slow progression, and it was like, the idea is what can you do with what's left, right? So we make all these turkeys, we're gonna make some sandwich, something we can do with it. So the bacon, it's like, how much bacon can you make? Well, we can make a lot of bacon. You can make a lot of bacon sandwiches.
Yes.
But now we have the candied bacon, makes it a little bit sweeter, a little more fun, adds a little. My wife will take this candied bacon, chop it up real small, and throw it on top of a brownie or something and kind of dress it up a little bit. And then that's kind of jazzed up, kind of has a little more smoke show flair to it. So maybe we'll do something like that in the future. Maybe Sean doesn't like sides. I don't know. Do you like desserts?
No, I'm not a big desserts guy.
What if we put bacon on it?
I'm not a sweets guy either.
We're going to put bacon
on it. If I can eat the bacon as a dessert, I'll eat the bacon as a dessert.
So candied bacon, so we'll qualify that as a dessert today.
What a great place to start, because that is something different than what you did last week, that candied bacon.
Yeah, like snowflakes. Speaking of snowflakes, all the snow we got out here,
boy.
I love it. 4x4. I'm with you, Sean. I finally got a 4-wheel drive truck. I'm not the guy. I'm not that jerk that drives really fast on the shoulder or tries to pass those 20 miles. I kindly pass you because I'm nervous. I'm still getting used to the 4-wheel drive thing. So baby steps for me. Kind of like the smoker, baby steps.
Yep, absolutely.
But anyway, I digress. The turkey, the bacon. So I smoked some the bacon. This time I took the cold smoked bacon versus last time it was the hickory smoke, which is a cold smoke or a hot smoked. So the hot smoked bacon is you're putting it in a hot box, just like we do. We smoke our bacon, or we're going to smoke this bacon that we're going to cure a little bit later in the show. Cold smoked is the same kind of thing, but the same exact concept. It's cured, right?
Okay.
It's just smoked in a cold box, so it's getting cold smoke pushed through the box versus a hot smoke, so it doesn't get heated up.
Where did you do this in?
I'm not exaggerating. In a tin, an old garbage can, right? Like the tin garbage cans you can get, and you get a lid on there.
Yeah.
Drill a hole in the side of it, and you can push. Get a little air. Push a little fan, and you push a little smoke in there. So you make a little smoke in a little smoke box, and you blow it in there. So I told you guys.
Great idea.
I wasn't doing all these things until I started, hanging out with you guys. So I was like,
blown right now.
I was like, I have
because
to step
that's
it up.
unbelievable. That's way better.
Yeah, so we take this little hunk of pork belly that's been cured, and we try to really take it to the next level.
Oh, and you did. That's the next level for sure.
And then we candy it. So it's the same kind of thing. So we start with that, and I'll let you guys try this BLT. And for you, Mike, because you don't do the bread, you don't do the gluten. And Art behind the glass over there, I brought lettuce. I brought you guys some lettuce. You can do a lettuce wrap. You can enjoy all this awesomeness inside some romaine.
You mean I have to eat
I'll slide
the
that
bread?
over to you, Mike.
Okay.
Darn it.
This here
I need a little.
is some niceness. LeMayo, some lettuce,
That. Wow. Yeah, hold that
that
up.
bacon.
Can I hold this up for everybody? Art, can I get everybody like a close-up look at this?
Oh.
Oh, is it? All right.
You got it right here.
I mean, and if you want a real good picture, you go to Dave's at Dave Hubbard's Twitter feed, or the Twitter feed that we were going back and forth on today. Some nice fresh pictures of those sandwiches. I was getting so hungry retweeting them.
Would you look at that?
It doesn't have that same crisp because we traveled a little
Right.
bit
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
bread,
yeah.
but Mike doesn't care.
No.
So I'm gonna slide. What do you got here, Sean? Let's get you a plate. Mike,
Do I
you
have
got your
to?
lettuce ready?
I got my
I'll
lettuce
just slide
ready.
this over to the lid of that.
Yeah, right there. Oh boy. Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about pork belly, because we got the bacon on here.
Okay.
So we got the top of the pig there, the loin, if you will, is the belly. So we got that underneath here. Sean, you want to unwrap that? Mm-hmm. And I'll serve you up some of the sandwich while you unwrap that pork belly, and we can get some cure going for some bacon for you. We have some options today. We went with a cure rub kit, if you will, from Bees Rubs. Really cool rub kit that has everything that you need right inside there. So you can take this pork belly. You got it. You can stay right here, Sean.
Okay.
I'll let you do the work.
And it's very easy. We did this
this
summer,
at my house.
and we couldn't believe how simple it was and fun. Something like a home project you could just do right there with your family.
So you got the actual cure, if you will, and you're not going to need all of that. You're just going to kind of put a generous sprinkle, if you will, or dusting across the top and the bottom of that pork belly. And I've got a zip top bag here for you to put it in. But we have some options for flavor profiles. So we can add a little bit of honey if you want a honey bacon, a black pepper, cayenne, or some jalapeno. Or we can mix any of these four and create our own flavored bacon. So what do you guys want to do? What do you want the smoke show flavor bacon to be? And we'll smoke this bad boy next week, and so we'll have it for the show, and we'll try it.
We did jalapeno over the summer, so let's try something different, right?
Yeah.
You want to try something different?
Then there was like a cayenne and there was a honey.
Yeah,
Right.
that honey was good. That was
I think honey cayenne sounds good to me.
That is, I think,
Or-
what I did.
Okay,
Was
so
the
what
honey
about
cayenne, and that was money.
black pepper honey?
Okay.
Sure.
Pepper bacon is awesome,
yeah,
right?
absolutely, peppered bacon
So
is
take
good.
these two.
They flip now?
Yeah, flip now, and then.
So that's
yeah,
just
you
a
don't-
cure
you don't-
rub.
Yeah, we're just putting the basic cure on there right now, and all that's doing a little bit of nitrates, salt, some.
Does that got the pink salt in it?
Yeah, the nitrate. Yeah.
Yeah, nitrate. Okay.
Yep. So that'll cure it for us. There's just very little bit of that in there. and that'll penetrate through the skin and the belly there, and get inside there and kind of soften and tenderize that belly for you, and then it'll create that bacon flavor, if you will, and then you smoke it, and then you really get the intense smoke flavor off your bacon.
Now, is this what you did with this bacon that we're eating right now? Or
the stuff that we're eating right now is cold smoked. It's the same exact process, right? We put it in the cure, we let it sit for 7 to 10 days, even up to 14 if you like, and let it kind of dry out. It's pulling the moisture out of that piece of meat, and then you can throw it in the smoker, and you got something real cool.
We could go a little bit longer than we did last time.
So I'll trade, Sean. I'll put the flavor profile on the bacon, and you can have this BLT.
You mean I have to eat? Darn it! Really? You're gonna make me eat here?
So I also have another little snack while you're eating sandwiches, and what goes well with sandwiches but chips. So I made some potato chips there, Mike, if you want to show everybody those potato chips. And then we got like a chip dip. Took some Chipotles, some sour cream, and some mayonnaise, and kind of mixed that all together. A little black pepper, a little cayenne. Got a little kick, but not too much. Yeah. You should have
nothing like what I've done the last couple of weeks to tear up my stomach.
Not at all. No ghost pepper, no habanero, nothing crazy like that. Sean, how do you like that sandwich? The bacon all right?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. This is the first time I've used lettuce on a sandwich. Of all the time, I don't know if Art does it. I know my daughter does the sandwich wraps with lettuce. I've never done it. I just take the bread off and I go at it.
Yeah, so I usually use a lettuce wrap. You know, like, and it's nice because places like Jimmy John's of this is completely different. You guys are on another level because that sandwich was amazing with lettuce. So thank you.
Okay, yeah. Cool. That's what I'm saying. I'm all about it. It's a nice little vessel to deliver my food.
Now, Dave, when you talk about the flavor profile, when we cure this, I think sometimes the tendency is to go overboard, and we want to remind people you don't have to like bury that in flavor. It's amazing. You'll be surprised when at the end of curing this in 8-9 days how flavorful it is.
Yeah, it goes a long way because it's setting on there and it's really penetrating that meat. And what that nitrate is doing is it's really accelerating that process. So it's kind of really opening up the pores of the meat by pushing out the moisture and letting in whatever your flavor is that you're kind of putting in there. So it mixes
I remember over the summer we wanted to put a ton on, and Dave's like, "No, you're good. You're good. It'll be fine." And it was. It came out. It was real good.
Boy, I miss those summer days where you could just go outside and not wait for your smoker or your Masterbuilt to heat up for an hour. I do miss that. I miss that. Pretty soon, we're going to get back to that point.
So we've got a couple other sandwiches that we did. Like I was talking about the pastrami, the turkey Reuben, the corned beef. And I did a roast beef as well. So we got some roast beef with I did some pickled red onions. And what else did I put on there? I put some of this mustard horseradish sauce. Real good stuff. I think you'll enjoy that, Sean, and some of that Hoffman super sharp cheddar. Got a nice punch to it. And then obviously you have the turkey BLT, and then we'll try the sub once I get. So why don't you go ahead and bust into this pastrami, give a little bit of that to Art and to Mike. And then I'll hold off a little bit, and I'm going to put this pork belly in this Ziploc bag and set it aside so I can cut open some more sandwiches for you.
And I'm going to taste some more of these chips just to make sure.
So the chips are good? What do you think? Potato chip?
Oh, this is unbelievable. I love your chips.
Isn't that sandwich beautiful?
This time I'll say it in the mic, though. I love these chips. Now, you know I love your dips, too. This is a great option to like a French onion.
My dips, like they're like my background singers or something. Dave and his dips.
Come on now.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Dave and the dips.
I love it. So we'll just put this in here and we'll seal it up. So yeah, so what do you got in there? What does that look like? Nice awesomeness. Should have some pastrami on there that we cured, cured if you will, like corned beef. And then we take it and then we pull it out of that brine, if you will, and then we put it in the smoker for about 3 or 4 hours. Pull it out of the smoker.
Look at that. Isn't that lovely?
Real nice. And then we slice it up. Little what's on there? I think some coleslaw, some Swiss cheese, and some Thousand Island dressing.
And again, this is stuff that you can do at home when you have leftovers. It's like there's nothing worse than like I'm not a leftover guy, but leftover barbecue's completely different because there are so many different things that you can do to leftover barbecue. And this is some of the stuff. Make some sandwiches. Get creative. Become unique with it.
Even better idea, if you don't want to make the sandwiches yourself, head over to the butchery, and these will be on, or at some time will be on the sandwich board.
So I'm going to make you guys a sandwich now because remember I said I took that pork butt.
Yeah.
I put it in the sous vide. You know, we've been talking about the sous vide.
You've been loving this sous vide. David Sous Vide Hubbard.
That's right. I've been definitely exploring all these cool things to do with the sous vide, and I was like, well, I'm going to try every week. I'm going to try. And so this week I took a pork butt. I threw it in that sous vide. I put it up to 165, and it was in that sous vide for about I would say at least 26, maybe 27 hours. And after I pulled it out of the sous vide, I took it out of the package, out of the sous vide, and then I put it in the smoker for another 4 or 5 hours. And so
you said at about 350, right?
At about 350, because that sous vide, what it did was it took that, that fat cap that's on the top of your pork butt that you want to get that nice crust and all that goodness from, that bark, if you will. Well, that doesn't happen in a sous vide because it's cooked real slow and it's, watered. And so it's just softened up. And that fat was just soft and congealed, kind of gooey, if you will.
I could see it being a mess.
And so kind of handle it, soften it up, let it cool. And then I put it on the smoker this morning and I had to go high temp because I wanted to kind of create that crust again. So it's kind of melt that fat. And so it melted that fat nice and slow. And then I just kind of put it all together, mixed it all together to create a pulled pork. The mix or the crust that I used this time was this Hickman's Divine Swine pork rub.
Very good.
This we used back in the summer at Sean's house. What do you think, Sean? Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah.
I like to catch what he's eating. Mm-hmm. But pastrami, your favorite. Mm-hmm. Honestly,
So-
is that on? That Wagyu top is different.
That was very good. But to the pork here, question for all those that have been trying the sous vide since you've gone on your kick here. When you put it in the bag or baggie, whatever you did you put anything with it? Because I know sometimes you've put garlic and butter and stuff in there.
Yeah, I put exactly what I would put on the pork as if I was putting it in the smoker.
Okay.
Right. So I did the same, rub that I do for smoked meats. Put it all the way around the pork, but really nice and liberal on there, nice and thick. And then I sealed the bag and then put it in and let it smoke for the 26 hours or sous vide for the 26 hours.
26 hours sous
Yeah,
vide.
yeah.
Wow.
Overnight. I started on Monday. So yeah, I've been thinking about sandwiches for a couple days. I got a trick or two up my sleeve always.
Hey, you got sandwiches done and managed to plow your driveway, huh?
That's right.
Wow.
I lost my phone in the driveway. Nonetheless,
heard.
the snow. Yeah,
We heard that story.
Let me see this lettuce.
No, here we go.
Here's some pulled pork. And if you would like, I made some pineapple, smoked pineapple.
If
So I
you
took some-
made it, Dave.
I'm not
yes.
exaggerating. I smoked like 6 pineapples. And I pulled them off the smoker, and then I put them on the cast iron.
You
the
smoked
cast
a
iron.
pineapple.
Yeah.
Wait, and then you
Oh,
cast
no,
ironed
and
it.
thrown it on the Weber or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Smoked it for like an hour at 350, and it was 350. Throw the pineapples in there, pulled them off, and then I cut them, and then I threw them on the cast iron skillet on hot heat to get that
those
real
sugars going?
bronze color. And then I chopped that up, and then I put it in a pan, brown sugar, ketchup, and then the capper on these is I took some jalapenos that I had smoked myself, so they're not it's not chipotle. It's smoked jalapenos without the adobo. So I just smoked some jalapenos in there, and then I pureed that. So it's got a little kick, but it should have a nice, good sweetness to it.
You know me. I'm going to taste it, and I'm going to see whether that kick is in the teeth or in the gut.
I'll have
Let's
some.
see.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna try
You should get some of that islands thing, the pineapple,
Oh.
flavor going
Well,
on.
like it's going to take me to Hawaii or something.
Somewhere.
Like we're at a luau. Put the
I've
pig
been to a real
underneath it.
luau too.
You've been to a luau.
Yeah, it's
Mahalo? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, whatever it is. You put the hot stuff on there too, Dave?
Yeah, a little.
I want to try the hot stuff.
It's not hot. It's just sauce, Jimmy.
Let's see.
And I'll pass this over to you.
You're a good human.
Tell me what you think.
It was a good day to shave. I would never get this out of my beard.
Oh yeah, totally. The fall.
Oh, it was good. But you know what? It's such a good marriage. It's not the sauce that's doing it. It's not just the meat that's doing it. Together, that is such a.
We've said this 100 times, Mike. I'm glad you. Again, we're fortunate enough to be dealing with a guy that not only knows meat but is a chef. And when you can get those flavors, Mike, like you were describing, to come in those waves, it was like, all right, that's pork. Ooh, am I in Aruba right now? No, check that. I think I'm in Nassau. I think I'm in the. No. I'm on Lanai, and that's what I'm talking about. I mean, to get that different flavor explosion is just outstanding.
The flavor you've got going through this pork though is unbelievable, Dave. The sous vide, it worked. That totally worked. Sous vide, 26 hours, 3 hours at 350. Wow. And you know what I'm noticing here with the lettuce wrap? It's not a bun that's kind of hiding some of the flavors of that meat.
It just lightens.
It just lightens it up.
Yeah, you get a little crisp, little texture
like
thing
a little
going on.
Asian lettuce roll or something like this. Wow. And again, that sauce nailed it.
That's a really good flavor, Dave.
Pineapples comes through in there real well.
Yeah. And so this is what, when Mike and I were younger, just to reiterate, we used to be the two idiots that would go to different bars and go, "We are He-Man. We can eat whatever hot wing you put before us." And then what happens is you grow up and you don't give a crap. So I want flavor. If you're going to hit me, give me some flavor. If you're just hitting me to hit me, well, I'm going to step back. I don't want to be hit. Dave, you found that there's a little hit there, but it's flavorful. You know what I'm saying? It's flavorful.
So now I have the smoker's version of the meatball sub. So instead of that Italian meatball sub, we have a
barbecue
meatball sub.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll cut this thing. I put some Munster cheese on there and some barbecue. So
Munster cheese is a good sandwich cheese, isn't it, Dave?
yeah, it's a good melter.
Yeah,
it melts really easy.
It really is. We
I'll
always have
I'll
that at
let
our house.
you dissect this bad boy
I'll dissect it.
from the bread. Sean, make some room here.
I'm going to share this with one of my friends who haven't eaten yet. Is that okay?
Yeah, totally.
Look at you you showed everybody my Castlebeck. You're a food.
It's all good. So
It doesn't have an Italian smell to it. You can tell it's something different.
I heated them up, cooked them right on the smoker in the Traeger. So you're looking at about 2.5 hours in sauce, but I started without the sauce and then finished, so we started about an hour without sauce and then added the sauce and then finished them.
It's not too small. It's perfect.
So there's just a kiss of smoke. There shouldn't be like, there's real heavy smoke, piece.
And you can see just a little smoke ring there that we always want to talk about.
I try.
And this has got that pineapple sauce on it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Does it?
yeah.
This one's got a little bit more kick to it. I don't know why.
I think because that kind of it melded, right? So it cooked down, rendered down a little bit more, and the one that we made the barbecue sauce out of has a little more ketchup in it, I think.
It's very reminiscent of something that's very popular at holiday parties, that big crock pot.
Yeah, totally. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
you put like a barbecue sauce,
Yeah.
the sweet chili sauce in there, and meatballs. And on a sandwich, that would be unbelievable.
so there's three more sandwiches here. One is my favorite, so I'll save that for the last.
I like it a lot.
Next is kind of generic, but I thought because this smoked turkey is so it takes a piece of turkey and it's moist, but it's next level flavor wise. This thing here,
You're
this
excited
is a
about
turkey
this one.
Reuben. Oh my gosh, this thing right here, you're gonna be like,
He
wow.
never gets like that either. That's why I think Mike and I are sitting there going, "What's going on here?" He's all fired up.
We like when Dave gets fired up, though, because we know something good is coming.
That's a big old sandwich.
That
too.
is a honker.
Look at this.
I mean, if anyone's watching this and you know where the butchery is, you've got to get in and try these sandwiches.
Dave, let me show.
Yeah, totally.
We
That's
know
nice.
our friends like Jim Hubenschmidt, Jay Ralph,
Jay Ralph.
Darren Dudek. These guys are going in here. They're doing their lunch breaks.
Yeah,
The
all
guys,
they come all the time.
some of the guys from the what was the podcast we were on? I think the one guy comes in there. They've tried the sandwiches. Yes, guys, go do this yourselves. I mean, we could sit here and just tell you how good it is, and you're like, "Oh, Dave's right." You have to try these yourself. And if you can get a sandwich like this that Dave is this excited about, consider yourself lucky.
That kraut is like really, really good stuff. That's
So I got to get down to the kraut.
yeah, I like that. And then the next one here is the actual corned beef. That's the Wagyu top that we pickle or brine for 7 to 14 days. This one I believe had about 7 days on it because it's the first one that I made.
That turkey is so flavorful.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's a
Isn't that
flavorful
nice?
turkey.
Yeah,
It's a flavorful turkey.
Yeah, no injection, straight smoked on the Traeger.
And then when you get through that turkey, that kraut is a banger. That is a nice bite, Dave.
Here's a Reuben. This is the classic kraut, Thousand Island, Swiss cheese, but not classic when it comes to that Wagyu corned beef. Look at this, Sean.
So this is a Wagyu
That's what
corned
I'm
beef.
talking about.
This right here, this is like next level deli.
Wait,
And
wait.
I'm not even. You know what?
I don't even know where
I
my
gotta
phone
I gotta
is.
tell you guys a quick story. When I married into a Jewish family, and my father-in-law, when I told him I wanted to open up a meat market, he kind of looked at me like, "You're crazy. You're a chef. What do you? Yeah, I know how to cut it. It's a better life, for me, daytime versus nighttime, and all that good stuff." I think the sadness in his eyes was that I wasn't opening up this deli, because I'd always talked about these sandwiches that I like to make. So, not opening up that classic deli, I think it comes out in some of these sandwiches. But it's just taking those, again, like you were saying, those cuts of meat that we have, that we throw on our smoker, we throw on our roaster, and we have these big old hunks of meat. And what are we going to do with the leftover? We got to do something, right? So and we can jazz it up and make it fun. This is definitely going to be fun.
I can't wait.
Flavor Town. Yeah, look at that. That's all meat. You get a little, that fat from the Wagyu in that top is going to make that corned beef. It's not like the you get a fatty corned beef, be like, "Oh yeah, I like fatty corned beef." It's different. This is a different kind of fat, because the fat on this Wagyu it's like we talk about it, meat butter, right? And that flavor breaks down a lot different. It's same like in the pastrami, right? It's almost like that pastrami melts in your mouth versus you trying to chew between those morsels of fat, right? So here, this is gonna be.
I'm gonna share that with my buddy Matt.
That's gonna be it.
Quick question, Dave. You keep saying the Swiss on these. Is this that baby Swiss that we wrapped that in that chicken and stuff that I was just in love with?
Yeah.
Over the
Yep.
Oh.
It's a baby Swiss. Again, guys, I'm sorry that the bread isn't super toasted. We brought
No,
a bunch
you
of
kidding me?
sandwiches, but I know that this meat is right on.
All right, I gotta
really
see
do.
this.
That corned beef's got to be like that's a winner. You got to try that and let me know what you think. They're
100%.
Give me a little piece of that meat right there, Dave. Let me try that. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. You passed it on and I didn't realize that. Here.
No, you don't have to give me one.
Man,
I've had enough.
what'd you just say?
I've never heard that before.
What was just
How
said?
did he know
Did
that it
you
would only
just tap
take
out?
6 shows for this guy who, for the first 4 show, bragged about how much he and you can eat?
Well, we can. No, I'm going to share with my friends.
Oh,
You don't think I can eat
I
more?
apologize, Sean. That's Sean. That's kind Sean. I apologize. Would you like some chips and dip?
No, I'd want more of this, because
Okay.
this is,
That
you know,
is-
that's my jam.
Where are we
I don't
at?
even know if you have to chew this.
And then my
This is
favorite,
just melting in my mouth.
my favorite is that
Wow.
and this is a plug. Certified Angus beef has the absolute best top rounds, prime top rounds. So instead of the Wagyu, they don't do the Wagyu. Certified Angus beef, top round or brisket, choice, prime, very good beef. This is a top by Certified Angus beef that I slow roasted for, and I'm not exaggerating, at 195 degrees, very little salt, pepper, and garlic. And I put it in the oven at 195, like I said, for, and I'm not exaggerating, I think it was just shy, same time as that sous vide, maybe 25 hours. So I had this big old hunk of beef that was,
For 25 hours.
it was like dark brown on the outside, and the inside is like blood raw, right? And you're like, this, and there's no way this is going to be tender. I pulled it, put it in the cooler, let it kind of cool off, and it kind of tighten up a little bit. And then I put it back in the oven at a higher temp, about 300 degrees, and it kind of sealed that meat a little bit. So about 300 degrees for about, I would say, I'm not even exaggerating, maybe 20 minutes, really quick. And then pulled it out, let it cool off, slice it up. This roast beef sandwich, some pickled red onions, like I said. This should eat really nice.
Almost sounds like he prepared it like a Texas brisket. I mean, really, pepper,
There-
salt, a lot of pepper if you're doing a Texas brisket. The difference is you added some garlic in there.
100%, Sean. I think you're getting inside my head now, because that's the thought process, right? Like, I always talk about layers of flavor, but the other thing is this: the theme of the show was sandwiches. So how are we going to put that within our our smoker show, if you will, paradigm or framework? So this here, yeah,
Wow.
I love a roast beef sandwich, and then Hoffman's super sharp cheddar is like, that's the stuff, if you ask me.
Now, once again, seeing how excited you were, I think I'm losing my mic here. How excited you were for that, this meat here, perfect. The meat, I can't wait to have this. Anything you've been, look at, meow.
Your mic is limp there. So I did this one here. This is so big. I layered the pickled red onions in the middle. right? Because I had this big old sandwich with meat on both sides, and I wanted to melt that cheddar cheese. So I'm going to cut it a couple times here so we can share with all our friends.
Wow. Good gracious. Yeah, fire it right in there.
And you said you put there's pickled onions in the middle here.
Nice.
Let me take care of my
nice
boy.
and
Wow,
medium.
that is beautiful. I'm going to take a picture.
Take the picture, social media.
Oh,
I love it. That's right. I hope it photos well. It looks good. And then the candied bacon. Back to the candied bacon. You know what you can do? You can throw that candied bacon on any of these sandwiches and make them that much better.
100%. Then that's why they have that in most places. $1 for extra bacon or to
Totally,
add bacon
totally.
to
Have
anything.
some fun with it.
And that bacon right there would go well with anything.
So what do you
All
think?
right, so let me see.
Oh, you haven't tried the roast beef yet.
Hold on.
All right.
Ooh, is this like a mustard? Of course I wasn't paying attention when you were talking about it.
Yeah,
right?
there's a little bit of this
Horseradish.
horseradish mustard sauce that I make. So there's got a little kick there, but roast beef needs something, I think, strong behind it to kind of hold it up,
Dave?
My sinuses. It's clearing my sinuses. That's what you want.
But that roast beef it's soft, isn't it? Like it's almost like velvet, right? That's what it's like this velvet mouthfeel is what you should be getting off this. It's roasted so long and so low that it literally is breaking down that meat, over time.
And I'm experiencing this different without bread. Just the meat, the horseradish, and the onion. Once again, Chef Dave has put the flavors together, and they're just working magic.
Dave, how
This
long
is
did you
awesome.
do that? You said 195. Did you say
190
22 hours?
Yeah, no, about 25. 25 hours. So you're just letting it in the oven forever, pretty much. So it's drying really, really slowly, cooking, coming
Dave,
up to.
what you need to put this on your menu. I'm not being funny.
We have a roast beef sandwich on there on the menu with some cheddar and brown mustard, I'm sure. If not, yeah, it'll be on there. It's something that it's like an evolving
secret
thing.
menu.
Yeah, like we try to create
Secret
sandwiches. Listen, and I think it's more me. Every day I want to create something new, and I kind of have this bug itching because I'm not in a kitchen per se. I'm at, cutting meat and putting out this beautiful case of at a butcher counter every day. It's not the same feel, right? So I feel like I've got to create something all the time. So sandwiches kind of give me this outlet to create, and I can make a sandwich. I can create something fun and new, a dressing or a spread or something that go on the sandwich, like the mustard, horseradish sauce, if you will, the barbecue sauces, it's things like that where I could just have some fun with it. So yeah, it's just taking things.
I remember
and
when you decided
manipulating
to
them.
put this back on and how excited you were to do it and the creations. And every time we walked in, guys, get back here. You got to try this one. You got to try this one. So something about sandwiches, and we appreciate it.
that roast beef is one of your best. I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel personally, I felt like the pastrami was money, and the corned beef is kind of right there.
Yep.
So I'll save that little piece of roast beef and I'll try it myself.
Make
then.
sure
I'll
you
have.
try- yes.
Listen, if I'm getting my gold medal, it's going to the pastrami. That's just the way it is. I mean, but that's right up there with the corned beef. I'm not joking. It's right up there.
Good stuff.
That is really good.
The difficulty is
That flavor,
they're
Dave.
all good.
That flavor.
Next level.
Yeah. It really is. It resonates. I'm not joking. It's sitting right there. It's just sitting right there. All right. So is there anything else we need to hit, my friend?
No, I think we had. What do we do? Yeah. Last week, remind me what we talked about? Because I don't think we had too many questions. There wasn't too many questions on.
Was the pork? I didn't see
Yeah, was very the pork loin. Yeah.
So what are we going to do to this bacon for the next? This is. Are we going to try to speed it up in 7 days? Are we going to make this 2 weeks? How are we going to do it? Because normally they say the cure is about 8 to 10, right?
Yeah. So I would say, let's skip and we'll save the bacon for
Yeah,
the
the week
following.
after.
Yeah.
We'll do it 2 weeks.
I have I'm trying to think of like what would be great in this cold weather, right? Something that
something hearty like a chili.
I like that. Because there's a million different ways that you could do. This guy
10,000 different
That's
ways.
right. Dropping dimes.
10,000
Mike,
different
hey,
ways.
Isn't Mike going to be doing something with you this coming week?
Yeah. Mike is making his broadcasting debut. He is going to be a color analyst for a hockey game that we're broadcasting. Detroit Catholic Central taking on Birmingham Brother Rice.
That's my guy.
And we needed a color analyst, and I said, well, who better than Mike?
I appreciate it. It's going to be fun. If you've seen the comments coming in on Twitter, it's a lot of them are the dads that stand in the corner during Sebastiano's games, and they're like, you do it already. You just got to be positive now.
That's
Mike
hilarious.
and I have done this for like 30 years together. It was funny because when we first talked about it, I said, Mike, it's like you and I watching hockey games together, except we have to keep it clean. So really, that's what it is.
Right.
We're going to keep it clean.
I could imagine.
I promise you, we're going to keep it clean.
Yes, we will keep it clean. And what I'm finding, the thing that worries me the most is I have to pay attention, and you know my attention span. And I might be looking at that game, but I'm thinking about a corned beef sandwich and some candied bacon, and then you're like, well, how about that goal, Mike? What?
Mike,
Bacon?
I you know what? I think you know I don't have a problem with diarrhea of the mouth.
Right.
So that'll be okay. I worry about you having the opportunity to say something, so I'm going to have to back off a little bit. No, seriously, I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be fun. I like I said, I appreciate the opportunity to do it. And as just like when we started this and started doing this in your backyard, we're all about having fun. And that's everything we've talked about since you've asked me to do it is how
And
much
you know
fun
what?
we're going to have.
You might remember we were planning to have a big old barbecue in my backyard this weekend. We canceled it. The weather sucks. There's no other way to say it. A lot of people are complaining. I don't want to come over if it's 10 in the morning, 10 degrees in the morning, that is. I don't want to come over if there's, 50 inches of snow. So we're going to reschedule that. I'm going to have, all my buddies here from Woodward over, some of our mutual friends over and everything, and we're going to have a big shindig. And if you missed some of the pictures from the first one, go back and Twitter to the first week of October. It was, there's no other way to say it. It was a shit show in my driveway. It really was. It was, but in a good way. In a good way. It really was. Except those grease stains are never going to come out of the driveway.
I don't know who to blame that on.
Yeah, I don't know who to blame that
I think
on.
it was that guy that brought the smoker.
I'll
blame it on my buddy.
It was a blast.
I'm the third wheel here. I'll take the blame.
It was absolutely.
It was all me.
It was absolutely a blast,
getting
and
it
no,
from
it
the
means
boss. I'm not
it
messing
means
around.
absolutely nothing. Yes, we're going to do it again in my driveway, so we'll have some pictures. So we'll have the bacon for you. Don't forget, in a couple of weeks we will reveal that, and it will be bacon, and it's good bacon because we did that at my house, and we put that in my fridge, way in the back, for about 8 days. Ideally, Dave, it's 10 to 12, right? Ideally, or is it 8 to 12?
It depends.
Okay.
You got hot spots. What you're
Yeah.
dealing with, but yeah, you're right in there.
So that's what we're gonna do. So anything else?
No, so it sounds like chili. This is fun.
right,
there's a lot of different chilies.
do
you
some
can-
chili.
Cold. You have
And-
things like what? Chilies or soups.
I'm not showing up
or-
with beef chili. I hope you know that. No generic beef chili.
We would expect nothing.
All right,
Nothing less.
cool.
But I think what
Smoked antelope chili.
Maybe
be ready for that.
Or maybe I'll come up with some kind of vegan or vegetarian chili, and then that'll make a lot of the folks in this other room over here real happy.
Well, and like I said in our text thread, is maybe one of them or two of them could be something that we get together on a day other than Wednesday, and we can reunite again and do something.
Oh, you
and
guys
get
want to
back
come over to
some
my
fun.
house and watch hockey? Oh, really? Do I have to do that again?
And we could start prepping it and doing it and getting our smoke show on again.
Let's do
Sounds
it.
like fun.
All right. Hey, thanks. So many people behind the scenes. Adam does such a great job. We appreciate it. Fish, Art, Stick was in the house today. Perry
we had 'em all.
Bellucci, Tom Mazaway. We had a lot of people in the house today. Until next week, for Mike Ivesil, Dave Hubbard, go visit him. Go visit the butchery.
Get these sandwiches.
Sandwiches, if you want to make your own, get the meat for it. He's got everything for you. The butchery on Orchard Lake in Kego Harbor. He's Dave Hubbard. I'm just Sean Baligian. I sit here and eat. So glad you could join us on the Smoke Show. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Woodward.